Could the system be putting children in danger in Portsmouth? A former caseworker with Child Protective Services says yes.
Employees say they are understaffed and overworked, and she believes it's a problem. Sending Your Side investigated, and what we found might surprise you. Jason Mark spent 2 months looking into this story, and Jason, this has an impact on every family.
Tom, you never know when your family's going to need CPS. Now, this all started with this email from a former employee. She asked us to look into Portsmouth CPS, saying something needed to be done before a child falls through the cracks and is hurt. So we dug deep into CPS, looked at the numbers of cases per employee, compared it to other cities, and the numbers tell a story of their own.
There are certain building blocks to raising a child.
The main concern is the children are not safe.
But there are some in Portsmouth who feel that these important 3 letters are falling short.
Why should children in Portsmouth be at a higher risk of safety than children in Norfolk, or children in Virginia Beach, or children in Chesapeake?
This woman, who asked not to be identified, is a former Portsmouth Child Protective Services caseworker. It was her job to investigate reports of abuse and neglect, but that task became overwhelming.
Caseloads started to get out of hand, and it just really got to be a difficult thing. By the time I left, it was a madhouse. It was crazy.
City officials say ideally there should be 1 caseworker to every 12 to 15 cases, but that's not the case in Portsmouth. The former worker says the volume of caseloads quickly mounted. Her case numbers increased when she was handed other cases from employees who were either fired or quit. In fact, at the beginning of July, Portsmouth CPS had only 9 of its usual caseworkers. The office should have 19.
Well, that's extremely stressful and really unmanageable.
So 10 on Your Side wanted to see how CPS caseloads from around the area stack up to those in Portsmouth. Suffolk has the best average, only 6 cases per worker. Virginia Beach has 8. Norfolk comes in at 9. Hampton 13. Newport News 13. Chesapeake 14. And then there's Portsmouth. 41 cases per worker. By far the worst in Hampton Roads, and state officials are well aware of the issue.
If you are asking me specifically if 40 cases per worker is high, yes. It is very high, and it would exceed any recommended standard.
Carl Ayers is the state's Director of Family Services. He tells 10 on Your Side the state requires workers to close a case, meaning investigate and make an assessment within 45 days. Portsmouth has 194 cases that are past due.
My concern would be is that if you have caseloads that high, is what amount of time does the worker have to actually devote to providing services to that family?
Ayers says he was not aware of the issue until 10 on Your Side brought it to his attention. Just a week later, the state requested an action plan from Jacqueline Scott, Portsmouth's Director of Social Services.
We try to offer support to that agency to try to look at it and see what we can do to help address whatever the situation may be.
Scott did not want to go on camera for this investigation, but did talk with 10 on Your Side over the phone. She says employees left because of low pay and better opportunities elsewhere. Recently, 6 caseworkers have been hired, but it could be months before they have the state requirements to investigate cases. 10 on Your Side asked Scott if she believes a high caseload puts children in danger. She told me she believes that is a false statement, and supervisors are going to be more vigilant with workers to make sure cases get cleared and children are kept safe. Portsmouth CPS now needs to be rebuilt 1 block at a time. State officials say they'll monitor the department's progress every week until the issue is resolved.
Hopefully they can really come up with something that moves these cases pretty quickly and make sure the kids are safe at the same time.
And state officials tell me there's a regional director who will be helping Portsmouth CPS get back on track. I asked Jacqueline Scott when she hopes the case numbers will be back to normal. She told me she believes that will happen by mid-December. Jason Marks, 10 on Your Side.